This is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Today I'm joined by Matt Windle, the light flyweight who'll be fighting for the Commonwealth belt against Neil McCubbin this Friday night on Dennis Hobson's show in Sheffield. First time meeting with you. It's virtually at the moment. Hopefully we can speak before the fight this weekend on Friday. But first of all, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm fit and healthy and just ready to go. You just get to that stage where it's probably about 2-3 weeks before the fight where you're at the stage where you're ready to fight. You've done the majority of your hard training, your sparring's done, you've done your the only thing that you've got left to do for the last week or two is just obviously your last few pounds and getting your weight down, and that can be a little bit of a slog. Because mentally and physically you're ready to go. But yeah, you're all good, thank you.
And we were saying just before, you've been quite busy this fight week as well.
Yeah, 5 weeks a mad one, because of course you get, especially for an occasion such as this, and you get people doing interviews and chatting, and you have your last minute ticket sales. You've been pushing tickets for a couple of months or whatever, and then you get people messaging you fight week. I need to let you know how many tickets I need, and it's like, well, yeah, you do. You know what I mean?
The more the merrier, but you could have done it. You could have done it a couple of weeks ago.
And so you just get all like your last minute people jumping on board and stuff. It's like, I've got nothing better to do on Friday. I've had no plans come up for Friday, so I'll go to Matt's fight now. So it's just kind of a hectic week. Like I say, you're still training a couple of times a day, and you've got check weigh-ins. And I said tonight I got my final sports massage, make sure I'm all loose and everything. So just a lot going on.
But back to the ticket sales, from what we've seen, you're in very exciting fights. So, there's a reason people want to see you fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the one thing that I've always been able to say, hand on heart, is whether I win or lose, I'll always be in an enjoyable fight. And obviously, people that care for me and love me never want to see me lose. But people that just want to come and enjoy the boxing and the occasion and sort of know one of the boxers in the ring and so on and so forth. I am in entertaining fights. I fight hard. I kind of fight with my heart on my sleeve, and I don't proclaim to be a Floyd Mayweather or anything like that. But I give it everything I've got. So yeah, I'm enjoyable to watch, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And previously, you've had decisions that might necessarily have gone your way when you should have. I've seen the one against when you fought for the Midlands, you fought twice. When you got the knockdown, and you still didn't win.
Yeah.
It looks to me going into this fight, you're being underrated. Obviously, Neil McCubbin's 5-0. You've got losses on your record. Do you think people expect Neil to win this fight?
I imagine so. I think especially people that just go on BoxRec and haven't actually watched.
Yeah.
You've got I call them experts. But people just go on and they think they know. Yeah, it is a really good 50-50 fight. And even though I've fought some really good lads, I'm mentally prepared for this to be my hardest fight as well. So it will certainly be Neil's hardest fight, and I'm expecting it to be my hardest fight. But yeah, I think generally speaking, people would probably put him as the favourite. It's all kind of set up in a way for him and for me to kind of just be the opponent that's a bit of a gatekeeper and give him a good test. But yeah, I think that they're sensible enough and professional enough to know how, especially when you look at his level of opposition so far, that this is going to be his toughest step.
Are you going to use the disappointment from your last two fights of not winning the Midlands area title to fuel you to win the Commonwealth? This is obviously the biggest belt. Is that something that's going to motivate you on Friday night?
Absolutely. Any time I've been on the bag or on the pads or sparring, and you start to feel a little bit tired, or you think, I just want to nick a breather or whatever it might be. I just take myself back to how I felt the disappointment of those fights, and just sort of throw out another little. I'm sort of adamant that I won't be denied with it. Which I've tried to have that mindset going into the other two Midland title fights as well. But I thought in both of those fights, I thought I did more than enough, really, and as did many boxing journalists and reporters and such ringside on the night. So I felt really quite comfortable in the fight. So you look at it, and especially you look at the score of the Ejaz fight and the
Yeah.
scoring of it, it makes me feel as though I lost really convincingly, and it wasn't the case at all. So yeah, I know how bad that felt. So I know anything like that would kind of feel twice as bad, because, like you say, it's a bigger opportunity. So yeah, I'm 100% do not want to be there again. And whilst I haven't got a knockout on my record or anything yet, in an ideal world, I'd like it to not be left in the judges' hands, to be honest. But I am happy that we've got 3 judges as opposed to
Yeah.
the referee in it. So I'm happy about that.
Which decision loss hurt you more? Was it Ahmed or Seymour?
The Seymour one, I think, hurt me the most because
The second
because
time.
yeah, it was the second time. But I also felt as though, even though I knocked T-Jazz down and all the rest of it, I felt more comfortable in that fight. There were times in the Ejaz fight, I remember, I think it was about round 5 or something, because you've never done the distance, I've never done the 10 round before, you start going like, am I fit enough? And then I had to just give myself a little proverbial sound like, yeah, you're fit enough, just keep doing what you're doing. And I went out of round 6, was a really good round for me, but you just get these little demons kind of creep in. But the Seymour one, like I said, without kind of taking anything away from him, and he's unfortunately had to retire now. So our kind of little beef is sort of quashed and gone. But I just felt comfortable, and I just my trainer Spencer McCracken, fought for a world and British title himself, and he said to me, if you haven't won this, I don't know boxing.
Yeah.
And then we've gone to the dressing room afterwards, and he went, I don't know boxing, because I felt, we all felt really comfortable with it, and he knows that I like to have a tear up, but I was boxing on the back foot and trying to like make him miss and counter and catch the nice shots, and had a higher work rate still. And he kept saying, just hold off, don't have a fight yet, just hold off. And every round he's kind of saying, just keep doing what you're doing, hold off, hold off. And then we got to the end of round 9, and he went, have a bit of fun now. I mean, obviously, don't get caught with anything. Don't be stupid, but have a bit of fun. So I went out in round 10, then trying to, just have a little bit of a dust up. And then when I heard the scores, it was 96-94. I thought to myself, oh, I thought I won more than that, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then when they just give me 4 rounds, I was like, what? How? I just walked straight out of the ring. I didn't know what. I just didn't know what else to do.
It's a shame to hear that, but it's not the first time it's happened in boxing, and it certainly won't be the last either.
Absolutely not. No, it's. I mean, there and then, I knew I wouldn't. I knew, because I was too old to do it, and I knew I'd regret it. But I was ready in the dressing room after. I was just ready to pack it in. I looked at Spencer and I just said, "What's the point?" Because the one thing, I know there are many boxers that train for 10, 12 round fights, that train hard, but I do train immensely hard. There'll be lads in the gym that will tell you how hard I train, and I train very, very hard. And when I lose, I can accept that I've lost. I don't kind of have a problem. I've not got some chip on my shoulder about every decision is a bad decision, or I can take losing if I deserve to lose. That's no problem. If we get in the ring on Friday and Neil's better than me, then I'll shake his hand, and hopefully we'll share a beer after the fight, and it's no problem. But when I feel like I've won relatively comfortably, like the Ejaz fight, the score was something like 92 or 93, 97 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's with a knock. And when I had 93, 97 or 94, 97, whatever it was, I was like, yeah, obviously I've won that. There's no way that they've talked that wide and I've lost. And then I lost, So it's just like, what am I doing all this training for? But hopefully this is what I'm doing it for Friday night. This is what's meant to be.
And Friday night, it's a great venue. I've been there before. 3 shows now. The outdoor venue is amazing. I'm 99% sure it's not raining. And I'm hoping the weather's good as well. But yeah, what do you make of the outdoor venue and what Dennis is actually doing with Fight Academy in the Sheffield Arena car park?
From what I know so far, with all of that that's going on Fight Zone and everything, it just looks tremendous. It's I feel as though I'm not giving it enough credit when I describe it in this way, but the best way I sort of describe it in my own mind is it's like a televised small hall show, but
Yeah.
it's more grand than a small hall show. So I don't mean it like that, but
Yeah.
and they've even had good fighters on there, with Leach and Asamba the other day and so on. They've got some really good fighters on there. Dave Allen's involved with it, and Cash Alley, and so they've got lots of Bradley Skeets, and they've had lots of household names involved in it as well. So I don't mean it in any kind of disrespect when I refer to it as the small hall show, but it is that kind of a televised small hall show, and it looks, from what I've seen on the Instagram pictures. So one of our lads, Brett Fido, just picked up a win there on Friday, and he was saying just like it just looked a bit, and I think the way they treat, they put you in a good hotel, you've got the facilities there, the food. It seems like they're trying to look after all the fighters as best as they can, which credit to them.
Does it excite you that you're headlining that then?
Absolutely, because to be honest with you, I'm probably one of the only boxers that's like this, but I'm sort of not. I've never been massively fussed about headlining shows. So if I've ever asked for a title fight, I say, can we fight for this title, or can we fight for that? And could we? And I said, oh yeah, we'll put you on top of the bill, or you'll be chief support. And I'm like, look,
You just want the belt.
I'm not asking to be, put me on first for all I care. Do you know what I mean? I just want to fight and I want the belt. That's all I want. So I'm not demanding any headline status or anything like that. But of course, to look back on your career, whatever the outcome of this, to be able to look back on your career and say, I headlined a fight in the light flyweight division, which doesn't exist in Britain, top of the bill, on a massive show, because even though it's outdoors, it's still at the Sheffield Arena, so it's still a huge venue to be involved at as well, and it just looks beautiful. Like I say, you got the sunshine, you got the canopy ever above the ring, and COVID has provided a little bit of history, really, because this show wouldn't be happening without COVID. So for every bad that comes, you want to try and take the best positives from it as well.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's really exciting, and it's something I'm very proud of.
And just before we go, one last question. First fight since 2019. Talk to me about what you've been doing in your time off, why you've had time off, and if you think that'll affect you this Friday night.
So we jumped straight back into the rematch with Seymour, which was supposed to happen in the February of 2020. So we're still training, had injuries sort of everywhere, calf, elbows, back, everything, and niggles everywhere. But we just was training through it. Got my medical, and then a month after my medical, Seymour had to pull out of that fight, and then it was rescheduled for May. And of course, we got to March, and we
lockdown.
So during the first lockdown, I really did nothing. I did I trained twice a week or something like that, where I'm training like twice a day at the minute. Do you know what I mean? So I hardly did anything. And then once we was allowed to go back into the gyms in early June of last year, I went back into the gym, and I've not been out of the gym for an entire year now. Watching what I'm eating, my weight's been good, fitness good, sparring multiple of different lads. So I wouldn't say that I've kind of changed anything dramatically. I'm not going to come out boxing all like this, but I'm
watch Mayweather Logan Paul last night, and it's doing the shoulder roll.
Definitely didn't, but I think if anything, I'm just going to be a more well-rounded fighter. I've improved on what I was already got. I've improved on my strengths. Obviously, we're trying to tighten up on my weaknesses and stuff as well. But I do feel like I'm probably a slightly better version of what I was, especially off the back of doing 2 10-rounders and having that confidence going into my first 12-rounder now and so on.
Brilliant. That was a quality interview, mate. Look forward to the fight this Friday. I'll be there. Can we get an exclusive poem? I know we haven't talked about it on this interview. If you win the fight, I think you should have one prepared, mate.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll think of a short one or something that we can do.
Brilliant. Best luck. It's going to be a cracking fight, I believe, this Friday night. It's on Fight Zone as well. The undercard's on SecondsOut. So look forward to it. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Cheers.